So I'm going to show you some tips for creating a flash loan finder so that you can, create your own profitable flash loans. And one of the reasons I'm making this video is because we're going to reboot the flash loan masterclass next week on Thursday, August 26th. So make sure that you, mark your calendar for that. This is going to be a live presentation that you're going to, have access to for being a part of this program. You're going to see lots of new people joining for this event as well. So make sure that you, welcome them as you see them floating around in the chat room, all that type of stuff. So yeah, mark your calendar for Thursday, August 26th. But in this video, I want to prepare you for that and actually give you some tips on how you can find opportunities to do flash loans. Okay. So I'm actually going to release a video on my YouTube channel talking about this, kind of a high level strategy here. But what I want to do in this video is actually show you how you can use your coding skills to help you find flash loan opportunities. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about flash loans. First of all, if you're just not familiar with what they are, basically, they're a strategy for borrowing millions of dollars of cryptocurrency with zero money down that you can use for coding. You can use them in DeFi to create your own trading bots. You can use them for arbitrage opportunities. You can use it for liquidation bots, for leverage and DeFi borrowing, all that type of stuff. And one of the most common questions I get is how do you do flash loans profitably? Okay. So, if you're trying to do flash loans, let's just say for arbitrage, for example, there's a few different strategies. Okay. So strategy number one is essentially to find the most profitable strategy and be the absolute best at it. So basically, say you want to trade really common cryptocurrency pairs with flash loans, you want to buy it on one exchange and sell on another. And then basically, if you're going to do that, then you typically have to be like the best person doing it. And that usually means being the fastest. So the first to find the opportunity, the first to, execute it and actually be competitive. And a lot of times it's going to involve, having some pretty sophisticated hardware, some sophisticated strategies for being first, all that type of stuff. And what's really honestly easier, that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is a lot easier, which is basically to just look for new opportunities that aren't being taken advantage of. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Because this entire space has exploded in the sense of, we had flash loans initially just with Aave, all right, on top of Ethereum. That was the first real flash loan provider. And since then, Aave has expanded to other ecosystems like Polygon, which is an Ethereum-compatible ecosystem. So if you can do flash loans with Aave on Ethereum, you know how to do them on Polygon. And you can see basically this type of thing is expanding everywhere. So we have new layer 2s coming out with Optimism, with Arbitrum. We have Binance Smart Chain. And in some cases, the actual applications themselves aren't expanding as much as people are forking the protocols and putting them on different ecosystems. And so if you understand how to do this for one ecosystem, you can apply it to another. And you can look for new cryptocurrency trading pairs. And there's new decentralized exchanges all over the place. And so the opportunities really expanded here. All right. So that's a good sign for you if you're trying to find new opportunities. Now I'm going to show you how to create opportunities for yourself. Because at the end of the day, I could do a video right now inside this program and show you an exact strategy for doing flash loans, arbitrage, a step-by-step coding tutorial. That's exactly what we do inside the Trading Bot Masterclass. You can go watch that replay inside the video vault for sure. But whenever this happens, typically, everybody knows about it, and then they're going to be doing the exact same opportunities, and typically it's going to get very competitive, and then you're back into that situation I talked about before, where now you have to be the fastest person to do it, or you have to do some variant on that strategy that makes it different from what everyone else is doing. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually, be a detective and try to reverse engineer how to create your own flash loan opportunities. So how you can do this basically is find a flash loan provider like Aave, for example. There's several. There's Aave, there's DYDX, Uniswap has a way you can do them. What you want to do is go find a flash loan provider and then actually look at other people who are doing flash loans with that particular application. Now, the good news is you can find this information out easily on Etherscan. Okay, so you can go to Etherscan, you can look at the Aave lending pool here, all right, and then you can see all the recent transactions. Okay, you can see, let's just look at the actual transactions, and you can see the function calls that are happening here, right? Borrow, deposit, withdraw, all this type of stuff, and you can see right here, here's a flash loan transaction. Okay, so you can look inside of here, and you can just kind of reverse engineer this and say, okay, what did this person do? Like, I literally just pulled this up. I hadn't seen this before. I literally just sat down and recorded this video, and here's an example. An hour and 44 minutes ago, so this person borrowed, 20 Ether from Aave, and then did all these steps, and then paid back the 20 Ether. And you can see the difference here, okay? So this is how you can find what people do with flash loans. And this can kind of get the wheels turning inside your head about how you can create your strategies. You can actually step through this and see exactly what they're doing. We'll do that here in a second. But let me talk about the problem here. This is what I talked about in that YouTube video. And as it comes out, I'll post a link to it hopefully in the either the resources for this video or in the Slack channel. But, if you really wanted to get competitive with this, you have to sit here and scroll through all these pages, right? Next page, or download the CSV and sift through it. But I'm going to show you how you can actually create code that will let you look at all the flash loan transactions quickly so that you don't have to go through this process, okay? So there's a code sample down in the description below, and we're going to open that up right now, and I'm going to show you how you can write your own script that will automate this process to make it faster. So go ahead and get the code down below and open it. And I've opened the project in my text editor here. This is a blind text. And open the index.js file. Now when you do this, you'll see a complete code solution, but I've just, backspaced all this stuff or cleared it out so that we're starting here. We're actually going to walk through this and show you how you can think about this as a coder to create this automated tool, all right? So let's install the dependencies first. Of course, go to your terminal with your project here and do npm install, okay? And then that's going to install all your JavaScript dependencies for this project. All right, it's pretty lightweight. This is just a basic npm project. It's not a truffle project. It's not a hard hat project or anything like that. It's just a basic script that I've created, right, with a package.json file and an environment variable file. So next thing you want to do is fill out your .env file. So this .env file is where we keep secret information. So we're going to talk to the live blockchain directly. We're going to talk to Ethereum, the main Ethereum network. And to do this, we need access to an Ethereum node. All right. So in this case, we're going to use Infura. We talked about Infura a ton in this program, so you can just go sign up for an account if you haven't already. Go to your settings and then create a project. All right. And then get access to an Infura URL to the Ethereum node. If you get stuck on that step, feel free to reach out in the chat. There's plenty of people who can help you do that. We covered it in a ton of videos, so I won't repeat that now. All right. But anyways, whenever you do that, you want to duplicate this .env file. The .env example file. Actually create a .env file. You can see I put mine here. I'm not going to show it on screen just for security purposes. But you want to put your Infura ID in here. All right. This is the application ID for your specific Ethereum node. So I'm not going to show you on screen, but you just want to make sure that you actually put your real one in here, like ABC123. Not the whole URL, just the ID. All right. And then save it as your .env file, not .env example. Again, duplicate the file, put it inside there, save the variable. You're done. So you can see inside the script we have the entire link here, and this is where your Infura ID is read. All right. So now you have everything we need to get started. All right, so now let's actually write the code that will help us automate this process of finding flash loan transactions so that we can see what people are doing, all right? So to do this, we're going to look at the Aave lending pool, which is the specific smart contract where people are taking out flash loans, okay? And we have all the information that we need inside of Etherscan. So what we're going to do is actually take we're going to get a JavaScript version of the smart contract here inside of our project, and we're going to pull in all the transactions based on the smart contract events, and then we're actually going to find the specific flash loan transactions, and then we're going to open them automatically in our browser to make this really fast, okay? Instead of having to go through this interface and find every single one, okay? So what you can do is actually look at a flashloan transaction, for example, and you can see that in each of these, there's a specific event emitted at the very bottom here, all right, called flashloan. Okay, so we can see a flashloan event. So every single transaction where a flashloan takes place, a flashloan event is going to be triggered from the Aave lending pool. So really quickly, a note on this. With smart contracts, with Solidity, you can trigger events inside of them, and anytime an event is emitted, it broadcasts it to the entire blockchain. So this means one of two things. You can listen for an event in real time, and anytime a flashloan happens, you can subscribe to this event, and you can get a notification about it, right? So if a new flashloan happens on the blockchain, you can get a notification. Also, you can just look for every single instance of this event on the blockchain throughout the entire history. So if you want to get the entire event log for this particular smart contract for the flash loan, to see anytime a flash loan took place, you can also do that too. You can page through history. So we can do that really easily with Web3.js because it has something called get past events. All right. So I'll just show you that right here. So Web3.js, of course, is the main JavaScript library that I use for communicating with the Ethereum blockchain. There's others. There's Ethers.js. It's kind of a preference thing. We focused on Web3.js pretty extensively inside the program. What you can see here is they have a function for Web3 smart contracts where you can get the past events. You can look throughout the entire history. You can specify certain periods in the history. You can specify the block number that you want to start searching for. All right, up to a specific range between specific blocks. You can look for the beginning of history up until now. You can look for all the events. You can look for specific events like flash loan events. You can look for events that were triggered by a specific address, so maybe a specific person who called the flash loan. All types. It's really, really powerful. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to use this, but first we need some pieces of information. We actually need to create a JavaScript contract, a JavaScript version of the Aave lending pool contract, so that we can find all these events. All right. So how do we do that? Well, with Web3, we have Web3 contract like this. Let's just see here. We want to create a JavaScript version of the smart contract like this with Web3. So new Web3 ETH contract, and then we need to paste some information in here, right? So I'll just show you. So new Web3 ETH contract, and then we need to pass in two pieces of information. We need to pass in the JSON interface, which is the smart contract ABI. This is just a JSON file that describes the smart contract's interface. So it tells us like what functions the smart contract has, what events it has specifically. And then we also need to tell the address, which is the location of the smart contract on the blockchain itself. So we can get both of those pieces of information directly from Etherscan really easily like this. So on Etherscan, you can go to Aave lending pool. All right, you'll see the address in the code here. And you can go to the contract tab. Well, first of all, let's get the address. All right, so let's just copy the address and then go back to the code here and just say const Aave lending pool address. All right, and then paste it in. All right, so const Aave lending pool address, paste it in. And the next thing we want to do is get the Aave lending pool ABI. So like I said, an ABI is just a JSON array that describes what the smart contract looks like, so that we can create a smart contract. Sorry, we can create a JavaScript version of that smart contract. So you want to go to, well, you can go to the contract tab, but here's what's tricky about Aave. Aave is an upgradable smart contract that uses a proxy. Okay, so basically that means that it always has the same address, but then it points to a different smart contract and nothing changes. So what you don't want to do is go to the bottom here and then copy this ABI because it won't have all the features that you need. All right, you actually want to go to the reference for the implementation and look at Rita's proxy. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, Rita's proxy, and you can see the actual implementation contract is here. Okay, so this uses the EIP 1967 transparent proxy. Click on this, and then look at the contract. Okay, and then scroll all the way down the bottom, and then find the contract ABI here. So copy this, go back here, and then say Aave lending pool ABI, and then paste it in. All right, so const Aave lending pool ABI, and then paste in the ABI that you got from Etherscan here. And then finally, if we're going to create a JavaScript version, we need the ABI, the address. We have those, and then we can paste it in like this. All right, now we have a copy of the contract. So now we have everything we need to get those events for the flash loan. So again, if we look at Web3.js, we want to get all the past events for the smart contract. And we can do that with the get past event function, just like this. Okay. So we're going to do that first for all the events before we filter for the flash loan event, just to get things working. All right, so like this, the Aave lending pool, get past events. But instead of specifying a specific event, we're going to do all events. All right, just for now. And then we're logged in the console. Okay. But there's a problem with this code. It's going to look through the entire history. Okay. So we don't want to do that because it's going to be too epic. So we can apply some filters here. You can see that you can specify the from block, all right, and then the to block. All right. So basically, we're going to specify time range in terms of blocks. So we want to start looking at the specific block. We saw a flash loan transaction with from block. And then we want to do to block, latest. So in from block, we can just look at the flash loan transaction that took place here, copy the block number, paste it in, and then run the script. So we can just say node index.js. This is just going to run it. And then boom, there we go. So we've got some events here. Again, these are not flash loan events. These are they're just all the events. So you can see the event name here. So here's the withdrawal event. Here's the transaction hash where it took place. All right. Here's a reserve data updated withdrawal event. Yeah, there's lots of different events here. Okay. So now what we can do is actually filter by the flash loan events. Say flash loan. I believe that's how you spell it. Let's just look in terms of capitalization. You can actually look at the events here in the log if you want to be extra sure. And you can just copy the flash loan, paste it in. Yep. And then run it. And then there you go. There's the flash loan events. So flash loan, flash loan, flash loan. Awesome. So lots of flash loan events have taken place since that particular block. So now let's actually look at some blocks in Etherscan. Let's find all the flash loans that took place over the past day. So you can do this pretty easily. Just go to Etherscan, open up a tab here. And you can calculate this precisely with some math, but let's just look at some block numbers here, and let's change the block height to I don't know, let's just say let's change to a 3. So that's 3 hours ago. So let's just change this to a 3. So 1 day and 16 hours ago. So about a little over a day and a half. That's fine. So we can see all the flash loan events that took place a little over a day ago. We could get more precise and say 5, and then maybe change this to a 9. Okay, so that's too much. Maybe change it to a 6. You can be way more precise here. I'm just kind of doing this quickly. So 1 day, 5 hours is enough. We'll just take this block. You can play around with this in Etherscan. For homework, if you want to get more precise and actually calculate the block, you can do it with some calculators, all that stuff. But I'm just doing it quickly. All right, so from block this to block latest, so a little over the past day, we're going to console log those events. All right, so there they are. You can see how many there are. You can say events length. All right, so 66 flashloan events. Awesome. So that's gonna be a lot for what I'm about to do next. Let's actually change the block height to just do the past, let's change the past couple hours or so. So 4. All right, so let's use this block because this was just like 2 hours ago. So we're gonna paste it in here and let's run the script again and then like look at the count for all the events. And we see that's 18. So it's gonna be a lot of browser tabs, but that's okay. Anyways, so what you're gonna do is, you can log the events again and see them in your browser here, or sorry, in your terminal here. But what you want to do is you could manually take each one of these transactions, right? Copy the transaction hash and then put it in here, all right? But then that still takes some time. We want to completely automate the process where it opens it up quickly. So what we can do is actually use this open library here that I've included inside the project, and we can actually open the each transaction hash like Etherscan. So we say events map. All right, so map is just a function that loops through each item in the array and get each event. And we can say open and actually put in the Etherscan URLs, https://etherscan io/tx/$ and then event transaction hash. Okay, and then run it and watch it work. And now we can see over here in my other browser is where all the other things are popping up. It's opening up screen for me, but let me just show you here. So yeah, boom, there we go. Here's all the events in my web browser. Okay, so you can see this event, this event, this event, this event, this event, this event, this event. Okay, so here's how you automate the process and actually look through different people's flash loans and see like what they're doing. Okay, so you can see basically that this person was taking out wrapped Bitcoin. All right, and you can see that there's a difference created here. So it started off with $80,000 and then ended back up with $81,000. So there's a difference here. All right, that's a profitable trade here. You can see these types of things as well. Starting off with 112,435, 112,537. All right, so there's a difference here. You can look at this one here, 144,831, 144,961. All right, so you can go through each step by step, look at the currencies they're using, look at the different exchanges that they're using, and then this is how you create strategies for yourself. Okay, so you can also look at the people who did these. You can see like who this person is. All right, you can see their balance is quite a lot. All right. You could look at the other addresses they have on different chains. So you can see that this address is active on Etherscan, Binance Smart Chain, or sorry, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon. All right. And so this will kind of get the wheels turning inside your head. Like, what are these people doing? What tokens are they looking for? And so you can reverse engineer these strategies to create your own. Because in the day, like I said, if I just give you a step-by-step strategy, everyone who watches it is going to start using that strategy and you're back competing with one another. But if you automate this process and actually look through all these types of things, with code, you can speed this up quite a bit to find out the learning for yourself. And you can also write your own custom strategies that will help you dig into some of these insights even further. Okay, just hint here. And this is the code and the tools that you can use to do it. So I hope you like this video. As always, mark your calendars for that next flashloan masterclass. We're going to reboot that, and it's coming out next Thursday on August 26th. So we'll put a link to that in the chat room before we go live. Again, welcome everybody who's going to join the program for them, show up, ask questions, all that type of stuff. So I hope that's the video, and until next time, thanks for watching Blockchain Mastery University.